Hey there everyone, this is Joe in General, your resident reason and evidence enthusiast. It is Tuesday the 11th of July 2017. Oh man, what a day and a half it's been. So, what the hell happened during the Populous launch? Obviously, I'm talking about the launch of the Populous PPT token. If you don't know what Populous is already, you haven't been watching my videos, so just pause it, go do your research. I'm not going to talk about that. But I'm talking about the launch itself, and I want to talk about specifically two things. I want to talk about what happened, and more importantly, I want to talk about what didn't happen. Okay, I want to dispel some of the myths surrounding it that may be out there. I've heard a couple of things. Oh, I heard the Populous, it was a big this and it was a big that, and oh, everyone lost their money. Right? No, let me do some quick explanation. Very quickly though. I just want to say thank you to my new subscribers. I have hit over the 4,000 mark. Woo! 4,000. I was actually at like 3,700, 3,800 like a few days ago, I guess, doing my weekly Wednesday Bitcoin price analysis and the video on Populous here. This one tipped me over the 4,000. Thank you all to all the newbies. Welcome aboard. My 4,000th subscriber was actually someone from the Populous community, from one of the original token holders, I believe, one of the 1,100. I think his name was Crypto Grabber, I think, on here. So thanks, dude, for being the 4,000th subber. So let's talk about this video quickly. This is the one I did a number of hours before the launch was to take place, to receive the tokens, or the window of time was to open. And the title of the video was Populous, Why I'm Not Selling and Why You Should Buy. And the start of the video, I said Sunday, July the 9th, or technically very early morning on the 10th for me, because of the time difference, may go down in history as a day to remember. Well, yes, that was certainly the case. I'll go into a little bit more detail, but I've actually been up. I was up for over 24 hours straight. I kid you not. But I'll go into a little bit more detail. I will try and keep this as brief as possible because I do know that this is just a screen with a person talking. So I might flick through the Slack channel here, give you something else to look at, the Ether Delta page where PPT is trading. I actually need to talk about the Ether Delta page as well. That's part of what happened, so I will get back to that. But I want you to picture this for a second. And actually, I've realized that you guys, a lot of you, my new subscribers, don't know what I look like because you've seen only my crypto videos and it's just a screen, and you maybe haven't checked out my other stuff. So I'll set the picture for you. This is me, Joe. This is me doing a video on a shooting competition. And just sort of explaining, what I do. And that's me looking like a dork with my hands up in the air. And that is my Glock 17. So that's me, Joe in general. Check out that video. It's really cool. But imagine me, 3:50 a.m., freezing cold here in Australia because it's winter here. Yes, it's winter in the Southern Hemisphere. So I get up, put on a couple of jackets, my trackies, thick socks. I can't turn the ducted heating on because my partner is in bed and it warms up the entire house and she'd get really hot. So I've got blankets over me. I'm huddled here in my office and I'm here on the Populous Slack channel, and everyone else is on. There's like 600 or 700 of us, and we're like, yeah, cool. Can't wait to get our tokens and trade them on Ether Delta, and hopefully snap up some of those larger buy orders. So this was the deal. Between 4 a.m. to, between 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. UK time, that was the window of time allotted where we were told we would get our tokens. Sometime between 7 p.m. 11 p.m. UK time. Now for me, that was 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. So that's why I got up at just before 4 in the freezing cold with all my blankets and jackets. You get the deal. So what ended up happening was we didn't get our tokens within that window. So we did eventually get our tokens. I'll let you know. I guess I'll start at the end. Everything's cool. We've all got our tokens. We're trading on Ether Delta and everything's all hunky-dory. No one lost any tokens. There was some frustration at the start, some confusion. Yes, it happened, but everything's cool now. So let me finish with that. So I guess that's to dispel the myth that it was, crazy mayhem. The price has, tanked and everyone's lost their money. And no, absolutely, this is not the case. A couple of things did happen. I will explain that. Okay, but the 4-hour window came and went. But to Populous's credit, to the guys at Populous, Stephen, Nico Williams, the CEO, and the other guys here, they were doing their best to keep us as updated as possible, given the circumstances that was going on. So what was going on was this. The initial coin sale, the pre-sale, was handled by, I believe, and someone else can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was handled by an organization or a company in China, I believe. And this thing went off really smoothly. It was, we sent in our, our minimum contracts, whatever we chose. And it all went off. It all went off fine. We knew we weren't getting our tokens, but it's like, yep, contract went through. Blah blah blah. It was really easy. Okay. However, for the token release, a different company, a different third party was hired to do that. Now the token, I've got to show this page anyway at some point. So the name of the third party, it's going to come out anyway. It's Token Market. Nothing against Token Market. I'm sure they were having their issues too. It's not like they were probably being, just assholes or something. So I'm sure they were having issues. But basically there were some issues happening, and it was taking time. So, but they did let us know. It got to, close to the window, and they said, look, sorry guys, it's taking a little bit longer than normal. You will get it, promise. And then a little bit later again, it's sorry guys, still some problems. You will get them shortly. Don't worry, it's coming. So I understand, first of all, the frustration of that. I was freezing my ass off here at 4 a.m. till 8 a.m. here on the Slack channel. And, there were some frustrated people, and I was a little frustrated too. More so, I was typing like, I'm freezing, I'm cold. But some people were like, what's going on? This is crazy. This is like, just guys, settle down. You'll get your tokens, all right? Just chill. While I was literally chilling. But yeah, I understand some people were frustrated, but it wasn't like a free-for-all, and no one was like majorly angry or anything like that. Okay. But we did eventually get our tokens, and this is what occurred. So we received an announcement. It was, I think this time, the time stamp is set to my time, I believe. So it was around about 11:27 a.m. So again, that's about 3 and something hours after the cutoff window. Yes, it was annoying, but it's all fine in the end. But this is what happened. Our excellent CEO, Stephen Nico Williams, sent this and a link to the medium.com Populous page saying urgent PPT contract update. And this was this here. So it said, we just received news from our third-party provider, TokenMart, that they're updating the smart contract. So they had to change smart contract addresses. Okay. So with that, you will need to change the PPT contract address within your wallet in order to see the PPT when we release them in the next, number of minutes or whatever. And I guess they had to allow us enough time to do that too. So that was what was posted on here in the announcements section. Now, a few of us saw that pretty early. And actually what happened was, because as you know, I'm a reason and evidence expert, enthusiast. And I try and be skeptical of absolutely everything, and particularly what had been going on with other people's Slack channels, other crypto Slack channels. People were hijacking it. Scammers were getting on and sending it from the Slack bot, saying, token sales starting early. Send it to this address. The address has changed, and so all these people might send in Ethereum, and then the scammers just leave with a buttload of Ethereum. Okay, so even though the CEO of the company, he didn't have to do it. He could have gotten one of the other guys to do it, but the CEO of the company, how cool is that, right? Stephen posted that link to this page here. I and a couple of other people, I was questioning it. And I think that was, I think that was a valid thing to do. And sorry, sorry, Stephen, at the time. I know you were online and I was asking you questions like, is this you? Can you get someone else from the team to post it as well? And they eventually did, to sort of corroborate it, to confirm it. And me and a few other people were chatting down below, and we're going, oh, geez, I don't know. Is it? What do we say? Do we tell everyone? What the hell do we do? But look, we eventually... where we checked out this, and it turns out, yes, this is the real Populous medium.com account. So like, all right, we're taking a leap of faith here. We're pretty sure that it is the case. So then, you know, it got out to, you know, the larger population, and then, you know, people just started, you know, adding the new address, and eventually we all got our tokens. Yeah, now again, there were some people who were saying, oh, this is crazy. Oh, this shouldn't have happened, and blah, blah. Well, yeah, of course it shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. And for whatever reason, again, token market, it could have been purely accidental on their part. I'm sure it's not like they were doing it on purpose. And it's not like Populous were doing it on purpose. So, you know, cut them some slack. Most of us cut them some slack. So it wasn't like we were all angry and, you know, we're all going to sell our tokens straight away because we're getting out of this system, man. Hell no, we weren't selling. The most of us weren't selling because of what Populous is. And look at the damn price that we bought in for. 0.0011 per PPT. Ridiculously cheap. And we know what Populous is and what it does and what it's going to do for us in the future. Again, I'm not going to go into detail, but it is really exciting stuff to hold Populous. But of course, there were going to be sellers. So they were frustrated. They wanted to get their tokens really soon and head over to Ether Delta to try and snap up those larger buy orders. But what happened was we all got our tokens. There was a lot of questions here. How do I do this? What do we need to do? There was confusion. I get it. But, you know, we all got them in the end and everyone's fine. So that was issue number one. Yes, it was frustrating, but it all worked out for the good in the end. Now, here's the second, and I do agree, it's an understandable frustration, but it got sorted. But this is the Ether Delta website. This is where PPT was going to be traded mainly. Now, in my previous videos, I'd shown you the Ether Delta website, and it was this one here. I'll have to go in here. Okay, and I was talking about these really large buy orders. Now, I was saying, and I'm very, very certain, that most of these were fake anyway. Like, who's going to want, who's going to be buying at 2-to-1 Ether, even 1-to-1 Ether? So most of these were probably going to be fake anyway, and they're going to be pulled. However, when you did move down, let me go down a little bit further, about kind of here, we did start to see in my previous video here, buy orders around your 0.2, your 0.15, and they started to look a little bit more genuine, particularly when we got to, say, this kind of mark here, 0.15, 22 Ether for that price. That looks pretty genuine to me, and particularly there was one here at like 14 something, which was for like 58 PPT. Let me just go back. Anyway, it was looking to be much more legitimate around about here. So obviously, people were, really impatiently waiting, to get their tokens so they could head over to the Ether Delta website and try and snap up these orders. These are fake orders anyway. As I said, this was actually where it got to 5.5 to 1 Ether. Hell no, these aren't real. But some people, I think, were hoping like, oh, maybe they wouldn't cancel them in time and I actually get to snap up a couple of these. Yeah, it's greed. I get it. That's fair enough. I possibly may have even tried it myself. I probably would have tried to try it myself, as a bit of fun. Hey man, I'll get a 5. It's a tiny amount of PPT. So this is more like a laugh. Let's see if I can get one of these before they cancel it. Haha, sucked in. I got 0.011 of your PPT for that price. Kind of a bit of a laugh. But the other one, the more legitimate ones, were down here at 0.1 and lower. And I get that. That was, going to be a pretty darn decent profit. But this is what happened, and I understand the frustration. With the change of contract the contract address is tied to the Ether Delta market. Okay, so when the address gets changed, the market gets changed. So what happened was a whole entire new blank market was created, and nobody could access the original one with, you know, these fake orders and these orders here at 0.5 and all that. Okay, so I understand the frustration there. So a new market opened and there were no buy orders. I got into this market. Someone had to post the link. It's like, oh no, you can't use this market anymore. Here's the new one. Shoot out the link to everyone, guys. Make sure everyone, try and get as many of those buyers here to know that the real market now is over here, so they can, move their buy orders over. But what inevitably happened was, of course, not a lot. Some would have found out. Some would have been here, eagerly waiting to see if their buy orders got filled. And it's like, hang on, it's blah, blah, blah. It's blah, blah, blah. What time? I'm seeing people are getting their tokens. I'm on the Ether Delta website. Why are there no sell orders? Why are there no buy orders getting filled yet? What the hell is going on? So some of those buyers would have been in the Slack channel. They would have seen that there was a new market being created, so they would have moved their buy orders over, but the buy orders did open at a lot lower. Now, having said that, again, technically, could these have all been fake orders? Yes. Now, some of them I don't think were, so maybe there might have been a very, very tiny handful of us 1100 token holders who, if we had have received our tokens on the original contract, and therefore this original Ether Delta site would be valid, can you imagine how many token holders, the 1100 of us, not me because I wasn't selling, but how many of us would be clamoring to try and fill those buy orders? It would have been a free-for-all anyway, and I can tell you not that many people would have gotten the prices here anyway, and it's for small amounts anyway. So, but they still were filling up as the price went down. So yeah, you could have picked up, definitely could have gotten a lot more money on the opening than when it opened up here. I think someone told me on the Slack, I asked someone just before, hey, what did it open at here? What was like the first trade? And it was closer to like, I think it was like 0.00 something, like 0.007, I think it was. Now, even 0.007, that is still, a number of times more higher, listen to my grammar, a number of times higher than 0.0011. So if it was like 0.007, well, that's from double, triple, quadruple, it's quadruple. Yeah, it's over that. It's a lot. But it's certainly not as high as some of these that could have been filled. But come on, let's be realistic. Certainly the majority of people wouldn't have got them filled here because they're small orders. So bang, one order gone, right? That's all it would have taken. So this would have gotten wiped, I think, pretty quickly. But I understand. And also, most of us here weren't going to sell all out of our position. Maybe some of us would have tried to sell a little bit to get more Ethereum to then put into other ICOs. But a lot of us were like, mate, I'm not selling a damn thing, because we know what Populous is, what it's doing, and the secret source, which I talked about in this video here. If you don't know what the secret source is, watch this video. And what the secret source is, I talked about that, the secret source. Source is in SAUCE, not the other one. So that the secret of why holding your tokens would be a much better idea than trying to flip them for, yes, a profit, absolutely. But I tell you now, we are going to see so much higher prices than this in the coming months. I 100%, I never give something 100%. I think I'm giving this a 100% guarantee. You're going to see higher prices than what was going to be on offer when the coins were released. And again, these were fake buy orders anyway. Okay, so I'm trying to put this all in perspective for my subscribers who were token holders. I'm trying to put this in perspective for the 1100, for the some of you who may be still sort of really pissed off that you didn't get to sell here, you probably weren't going to get to anyway. Okay. But also for the people watching this, it's like, yeah, I heard Populous, it was like a complete clusterfuck. And, you know, the price just tanked and everyone lost their money and just people started selling left, right, and center. And it was just a complete bloodbath. No, that was absolutely not the case. So I'm trying to just put this into perspective for you. But yes, it was frustrating. But look, the price has since risen since then. It's gotten as high as, and this is when I've been awake. But having said that, as I said, I was awake for 24 hours from 4 a.m. till after 4 a.m. the next morning because of course, I'm waiting to get my tokens, and the tokens didn't arrive till closer to midday. I was up all that time. And then, you know, the thing with Ether Delta, the change in the address, and then the new thing. I just wanted to stay up and see where the hell this thing went. So I was, I was trading. Now I said to you guys, I wouldn't sell a thing. Why I'm not selling and why you should buy. I was trading. Now that's a different thing. I wasn't selling out. I was trying to do a little bit of what is called arbitrage. This is where you might see someone wants to buy for 1,300, and then you see here someone wants to sell for, let's say, 1,100, right? And you're like, ooh, okay, I can sell to this person. Actually, look right there, bang. Let's try that. Oh, damn, it's been taken. Okay, I could have just tried that right then. Someone wanted to buy at 1470, and there were some sells here that happened live. Cool, at 1285. So I could have sold to this person here for 1470 and then bought back right away for 1285 and either increase my PPT, or if I wanted to, I could increase the Ether. So gain some Ether or gain some PPT. The way the price is going, though, I'm trying to gain as much PPT as I can. So I was doing a little bit of arbitrage, and has been a little bit successful. I think I gained like over 100 and something, or close to 100 PPT. And for where I think the price is going, an extra 100 PPT to my stack, I think is pretty damn good. But anyway, that's beside the point. So yes, it was frustrating, but look, this is where the price is now, for example. So it got to as high as about 0.02, I think it was. I even saw 0.021. So let's base it on 0.021. It got as high as that. So if I go, if you wanted to sell out of your entire stack and you bought the minimum amount, and I've talked about this in the video, if you did the minimum contract of 5 Ethereum with the 2% bonus, you got 4,636 PPT it was. So if you sold 4636 at a price of 0.021, I did see it as high as that. That would net you 97 Ethereum, 97.356. Screw it, let's just be exact. 97.356 minus your initial investment of 5 Ethereum is an increase of that. To get the percentage increase, let's actually, I'm going to times it. I'll give you the dollar profit. Let's times it by what Ethereum was when the price opened on Monday, and that was closer to about $240. So 92.356, 240 American dollars, that is USD, times that. Okay, so you could have sold for and have earned 22,165 US dollars. Now, that was certainly a lot less than when I was talking about in those videos. I was doing some calculations about, what if you sold all your stack here? This is what you'd get, right? Now, yes, this is a lot less, but take into account, most of you weren't going to get your sell orders in here. And most of us weren't selling anyway, but we're just playing, blue sky thinking. So anyway, if that was that price there, so it was 92.356. Now that was the increase. So let's work out the percentage increase. So then you divide it by your initial investment of 5, and then you times it by 100. So even when it got to as high as, when opening on the brand new blank exchange, and it did get as high as 0.02, that's still a 1,847% increase from your initial investment of 0.0011. So why the hell would you be really upset? Again, I understand the people who just wanted to flip for as much profit as possible. I get it. You know, there was some frustration. Yeah, cool. But again, you probably wouldn't have got all your sell orders filled anyway. And plus the volume, like how much did you had a minimum of 4636. And look at the volume here. It wasn't that much. You weren't going to be able to sell out all of your PPT at these prices. The price would have gotten a lot lower. These would have been wiped. You would have been competing with all the other sellers anyway. Oh, well, not that all of us were selling, but many other sellers. Okay, so let's, all put this into perspective, as I said. But where we are right now, it's still pretty damn good. We're at, 0.1180, or the last trade, it was 1120. So we're hovering around there. That's still a pretty decent profit for now. But the thing is, people who understand what Populous is, what it does, and what it can do for you in the future, we are not selling a goddamn thing. In fact, we're trying to increase our PPT by maybe a few of us, some of us, I believe, it's more than one person is trying to do, the little arbitrage thing. So that's what happened with the Populous token launch. So as you can see, it wasn't blood in the streets. It wasn't mayhem. It wasn't everyone really angry and, Populous is done. The company's over. The stock's going to crash. The price is going to crash. Everyone's going to lose all their money. No, it wasn't anything like that. Yes, there was some frustrations, of course, with how long it took to get the tokens. But look, it was out of Populous's hands with the third-party Token Mart. Again, I don't think Token Mart, obviously, they're not doing it on purpose. They were having their issues as well. And, sometimes shit happens and you have to move on and deal with it. And I want to give a big commendation and a shout out to, and a thank you to, Stephen Nico Williams and his team, Shad and everyone, Jahi Grant as well, for being so professional about it. And, keeping us updated when they could. As I said, they would have been probably stressed out of their minds, I'd imagine, because of us, right? They want to do us proud. They want to do right by their token holders. So thank you to you guys for being the pros that you were. Looking forward to using the Populous platform to create that passive income. Again, watch the video and buy some if you do your own research and find that it may be good for you. Of course, again, not financial advice. Thank you very much for watching, gang. Head over to my channel, hit the subscribe button. As I said, over 4,000 subscribers now. Check out some of my videos. Watch this video here. It's only had 264 views, dudes. I want some love. Watch my shooting video. And tomorrow, because tomorrow is Wednesday, I will be doing my weekly Wednesday Bitcoin price analysis. You guys know that there's been a bit of a price dip since while making this video and just before, so I will be talking about that. And there will be much more news about Populous and, of course, upcoming ICOs that I personally will be getting into. Thanks very much, gang. Stay safe, stay informed. Speak soon.